You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. So we are picking up right back where we left off. Guys, please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes. We'll entertain you and let's jump right in. Alarm chain, you are up and let's go. Okay. Did he tell you about Kyrex? Did you already know before I told you? What else have the two of you cooked up, huh? Diego, please. Did he tell you I was in love with you all along? How I spent the last 2 years kicking myself for moving away, for not having the balls to say something? In that moment I was torn. Diego wore a look of fury on his face, his teeth bared as he spoke, but his words were something else. Was it true? Did he really feel the same way all along? Everything that was happening was shocking to me. I felt tears start to run down my cheeks. I didn't know if it was because of Diego's anger or from his new realization. Nonetheless, Diego noticed my tears and his expression began to soften. I'm so sorry. I need a moment. Diego stood up and exited the room. Shortly after, I heard the front door close. Close to an hour had passed with no sign of Diego's return. I had grown worried and had tried calling his phone, only for it to begin ringing only a few inches from where I sat. I was deeply concerned for him, considering it was dark outside and he wasn't in the best state of sobriety. Alas, I had no idea which direction he'd gone in. The best thing I could do was wait for his return. My ears pricked up as I heard the front door open once more. Diego had wandered in silently and sat next to me with a sigh. It was clear he had been crying. I'm sorry, I needed some time to collect my thoughts, and to sober up a bit. I've always believed I was a happy drunk. I guess that's just a lie I tell myself. Makes it easier to sleep at night. Maybe it used to be true, but I know that's not. But I know that lately it's not. Before you arrived, I was drunk almost every day. Sometimes it made the pain more bearable. Other times it only made it worse. But it was something to do at least, a distraction, a way to pass time. And when you arrived, I guess I remembered all those good times we had, those drunken nights in the dorm, remember? Our dorm had no alcohol policy, so we snuck bottles up in our backpacks and hid amongst our groceries. I guess I wanted to relive those days with you. I wanted to forget about everything that happened recently and have fun like we used to. But it feels different now. There's that lingering pain that I just can't shake. I keep telling myself I should be happy. I knew I was miserable with him all along. I hated being with him, but being alone seems to hurt even more. I even considered begging for him to back once or twice in the hope that he'd stop the pain. But I knew that was wrong. I knew the only correct path was through the pain, and I only had to endure it until it passed. But it feels as though it never ends. How long does it last? Have you been in my shoes before? I hadn't. I didn't rightly know the answer to his question. I could only shake my head in response. The worst part of all was that was how committed I was to him. How much I would have done to make him happy. How much I had done. And in the end, I was tossed aside like garbage. Like nothing I did was ever good enough. Like I could never be enough. And if you could have been honest with me, fronted up and broken up with me properly, that wouldn't have hurt so much. But how it went down, man, that fucked me up. And now that you're here, it's all so complicated. I'm finally getting the opportunity I dreamed of for years. Things are finally on the right track. But the scars of mine still sear. I'm terrified something will go wrong. I'm terrified that it won't be good enough. I'm terrified that you'll find someone better and leave me. I'm terrified that I'll have to go through everything I went through with Kyrex again with you. I know you're not like him. It's not you. It's just, I don't know how to feel anything other than worthless anymore. Diego went silent. I thought about what I wanted to say to him, how to make him feel better, but for everything I came up with, I worried more that my words wouldn't be enough. I'm sorry I yelled. I know that in and of itself isn't good enough. I want to do better than that. I don't think I should drink anymore. Diego, you can drink, but you just need to learn to take it easy. Nah, I'm not the kind of person who can take it easy. It's just not part of my personality. Diego stood up and rounded up the bottles of alcohol before taking it to the kitchen. I heard the sound of liquid being poured and decided to investigate. Standing in the doorway of the kitchen, I watched as he poured bottle after bottle down the drain. Some near empty, some near full. A couple hadn't even been opened yet. Once he'd finished, he walked over to me. I'm sorry. I never want to yell at you like that again. I care too much about you to let that happen. If quitting the booze is what it takes, then that's what I'll do. You're worth that to me. Besides, like you said, it worries you. I don't want you to have to worry. Are you sure this is what you want? Even if I wasn't, it's too late now. But yeah, I'm sure. Diego made his way back to the couch. I followed and sat back down next to him. I meant what I said, though. I felt that way about you for a really long time. I felt the same way. I spent many a night in university dreaming about it, about us. I deeply regretted never making a move back then. It was the biggest mistake of my life. Well, that and dating Kyrax. I know the timing isn't great now, but I'm committed to making it right. I spent the last few years with it on my conscience. You're the one that got away, or perhaps the one that I let get away. But no matter how raw I am, I will do anything it takes to correct that mistake. That's worth more than booze. You're worth more than booze. We're worth more than booze. I feel bad about this. I didn't expect the conversation to go this way. Please, don't feel bad. It was my decision. That was my decision to make. And it's made. No backing out now. And I'm sorry, again. I feel terrible about yelling like that and making you worry. My pain is no excuse. I'll be better, I promise. Diego leaned over to me and surprised me by planting a soft kiss on my cheek. My face flushed with warmth. In that moment, I could have been mistaken for a stoplight. I think I'm going to head to sleep, try and sleep all this off. I'll see you in the morning, okay? Sure thing. Good night, Diego. Good night. Handsome. Diego slipped out of the room, leaving me to process everything that had just happened. Despite everything, the one thing I felt I could count on was his commitment. I believe he would stick with it. And with his admission of that in that small kiss, I also believe the following few days would be rather interesting indeed. Day 10. As with mornings prior, Diego and I were sharing breakfast in preparation for the day ahead. We were both rostered to work a short shift for Ty during the evening, but had the rest of the day to spend as we saw fit. Reflecting on days past, our morning meals had taken on something of a new meaning. We had previously felt like ritualistic obligation being someone who usually skipped breakfast. I now found those moments precious and peaceful. Turn the music up a little bit. I like this music. Diego had made my breakfast burger recipe once more, but this time had doubled up on the hash browns. It made the burgers somewhat unwieldy, but I didn't mind. They were extra delicious. Fuck yeah, hash browns on a burger? Oh my god, man, after my own damn heart. Man, these are the perfect hangover fuel. It's a shame I didn't make these sooner. So you're still committed to giving up the drink? Yeah, I am. I meant what I said, you know. If it's at the risk of something more important to me, I'd rather do without. But you're working at a bar. That's gonna make temptation. Oh, that's not gonna be good for your temptation, buddy boy. I'm glad. You can still have the odd drink here and there, though. Nah, one sip and I know I'd want the whole bottle. This is just how it has to be. I feel bad about it, though. I hope this isn't too big of a commitment. You kidding? I get something much better out of it. I hope you know that this isn't a condition for, well, you know, us. Us, huh? I like the sound of that. Trust me, okay? I can manage. I know I can. Besides, I can't say I'll miss the hangovers. What about withdrawals? Do you think that'll be a problem? I doubt it. I've only been drinking, well, like that for a month or so. I mean, I was drinking before the breakup. It just got a lot worse after. Hopefully I'm not being too loud. Oh, there are other people sleeping. I think I'll be fine. Okay. Oh, I think I'll be fine. And if I'm not, I'll have you out there to look out for me, right? Right! I took the final bite of my burger before resting my plate on the table. Diego had already finished his. Oh! Diego leaned forward and rummaged through a pile of papers stacked on the very same table before pulling out a sealed letter. This arrived this morning. The letter was addressed to Diego from the Woodcrest Combat Tournament Committee. He ripped open the envelope and revealed the contents, being a typed letter with a card attached. The card seemed awfully familiar. Were they part of what Lucas had been working on the day before? Dear Diego, we are pleased to confirm your participation in the annual Woodcrest Combat Tournament. The card attached will explain the tournament progression and reveal your first opponent. Meh. Diego screwed up both the letter and the card without reading any further. Hey, aren't you gonna check who your opponent is? Nah, all it gives is a name anyway. What good is that to me? Besides, another tournament progression. Sorry guys, it's late. First round is the heats, then the quarters, then semis, and the final. I did compete last year after all. If you say so. It's fine. Doesn't matter what their name is. I'm gonna kick their ass either way. Well, you're certainly not lacking in confidence. Well, this year I have something to fight for. Oh, really? And what would that be? You, of course. What do you think I'm gonna run away if you lose? What? No, I just mean, you know what I mean. I guess. Oh, hey, by the way, I was wanting to ask. Yeah? Just, how much did Ty tell you? Like, I know he let you in on some stuff, but how much do you know exactly? Well, the night I subbed in for you at work, we sat down and had a chat. I think the two of you had talked already that day, right? That's right. Well, he knew you were interested, but also conflicted. He took a guess that I was interested as well. Maybe not a guess. He's good at figuring people out, so maybe he already sort of knew. But he asked me straight up if I was interested in you. I told him I was, and he gave me a vague background on what you'd been through. He didn't name names or get too specific. He just kind of said you'd been through a bad breakup and gave me a little bit of info on what went down. He told me you were feeling conflicted about your feelings and that it was all still quite raw. I see. I think he just wanted to prepare me for what I might be walking into, so I wouldn't inadvertently make things worse. Was it helpful? It was. I guess I can let it slide then. I mean, it all worked out for the best, right? Yeah, it did. I suppose he made a call knowing what he knew. Sort of bent the rules to try and get the best possible result or something. Still, though, he's awfully good at sharing secrets when he thinks he needs to, and keeps keeping them when he thinks it's for the best. It just makes me wonder, you know? I believe he has the best intentions, but can I really trust him? What do you mean? Like, if he knew something that I'd want to know about, but thought it was better not telling me, what do you think he'd do? Huh. That is a good question, actually. I think Ty has some, like, you know, ulterior motives, possibly. I think he's a good guy at heart. I think he has his own interests in mind, though, too, so, like most people. Most people have their own interests in mind, you know? Not everything is entirely selfless. Ah, lovely. Sparkles as though it were new. I had not long opened the doors for the morning. Is that him talking? I had not long opened the doors for the morning, and in the absence of customers, made a point to clean behind the counter rather most meticulously. Having shined the taps, I moved on to the liquor cabinet, facing all the labels forward and ensuring each bottle lined up perfectly with the next. After all, what would a classy establishment be without top-notch presentation? As I was placing the finishing touches on the liquor, I heard the entry bell sound. At last, a customer. I probably spun around to greet them. Welcome to Ty's, but... Oh, God. A customer, perhaps, but not one I was so inclined to welcome. Were you gonna finish that sentence? I suppose I am not. If you were here for Diego, I am afraid he is not present. I figured. Truth is, I was actually hoping to talk to you. Me? Yep, so I'm sure you know how placements were announced this morning. Indeed. And who do I see but Diego on the bill, sponsored by none other than this very bar? Right you are. I'm a little surprised you ain't compete, having Diego fight in your stead. I felt the opportunity would serve better in his hands than mine. Well, I suppose that ain't a bad response. Truthfully, though, I was hoping I'd get to fight him myself. I don't know how to explain it. I guess I feel as though we've got something of a score to settle, as bad as that may sound. Now, I know you know the organizer. I was hoping you'd put in a good word for me, get some things rearranged, catch my drift. I'm afraid that will not be possible. Oh, I'm sure it would be. You just don't wanna. And what if you are right? You're a staunch one, Ty. I kinda respect that if I'm honest. Well then, I have another request for you. One you might find a little more palatable. And what might that be? You see, I worked it out. It's possible we'd still get to fight, but only if Diego can meet me in the finals. What makes you think you will get that far yourself? You kidding? I'm last year's champ. I ain't worried in the slightest. If anything, I'm worried for Diego's sake. Worried he won't make it that far, so do me a favor, would you? Help him as best you can. See to it that he makes it. See to it that we finally settle that score. Think you can do that? That's my request. I know it aligns with what you're going for. At least consider it. If you at least consider it, I'd appreciate it. Nothing left to say? Alright, I've said my piece and I'll leave you to it. Catch you next time. With that, he turned tail and made his long overdue departure from the premises. You know, that's kind of weird. Kyrix was a lot more soft-spoken in that encounter than I've seen him before previously. Makes me think he can be charismatic if he wants to be at times. Interesting. Oh dear. So, what do you think? I don't rightly know. I think it'd be situational at least. If not telling you would achieve better results in the long run, I think that's what he'd choose. It's almost as though this is some kind of game to him. I don't think that's completely true, nor entirely false. He's strategic, sure, but he's doing it for the right reasons at least. Yeah, as much as I appreciate all the help he's given me, I don't quite know if I can trust him fully. That's understandable. Anyway, first heat is only a few days away. We gotta train. Right, what's the plan? Well, if any of my rivals fight like Ty, I'm gonna have my work cut out for me. I think focusing on my stamina is a good goal for today. Diego was evidently rubbing off on me, considering where my mind went. I could think of one way we could train his stamina. So, how about a run? Yeah, let's do it. Huh? You're acting weird all of a sudden. It's nothing. Shall we get prepared? Yep. The clothes I was already wearing were perfectly suitable for a run. As were Diego's. Our process of getting ready turned out to be little more than putting our shoes on. As I was tying my laces, my phone began to ring. Oh boy. I pulled out my phone. Lucas was calling. As tempted as I was to let the call ring out in the hope of avoiding work, I decided against it and answered. Hey, Lucas, what's up? Morning. I have a question for you. Yeah, what is it? Are you any good with printers? If you're asking if I can fix the one you smashed yesterday, you'd be out of luck. No, that's in the dumpster already, useless thing. I mean the new one that turned up today. I can't get the damn thing to work. Oh, well, Diego and I are heading out for a run now. If you don't mind just being sweaty, we can stop by along the way and take a look. Please, if you could. Alright, we won't be too long. I appreciate it. Thank you. See you soon. So, where are we going? Lucas can't get his new printer working. He was asking if we could help. Man, I ain't no computer whiz. It's alright. Lucas has the technological literacy of a starfish. I'm sure it's something simple. At least we can take a look. Well, if you say so, shall we? Yep, let's go. Aw, man, I was hoping we could get a nice little CG for the run there. Before long, we'd run all the way to Lucas's office, and where he was waiting for us. Ah, you made it. Good. Come with me. Lucas led us to the new printer, a model eerily resembling the old one, albeit with a new paint job. Interesting choice. I've got the thing all set up, I think. I followed the manual, but when I try to print, nothing happens. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Diego, I doubt that's the issue here. I have, many times. My first thought was that perhaps he had not connected the Ethernet cable. While the printer no doubt had Wi-Fi, for our purposes, connecting it directly would be the best move. Checking the side, however, I found the cable firmly attached. So far so good. I then switched on the display and checked the status. No network connection. Well, that's telling. Looks like it can't connect to the network. Why? I plugged it in. I wonder. It struck me that perhaps the network required some special settings to connect to. This wouldn't be out of the ordinary for a business connection. Do you have a little book containing your network settings? I can look. What are you thinking? Business networks often have specific settings you need to put in before you can connect to them like this. I figured the cable is the same one the old printer was connected to, so it's likely an issue on this end. Who knew you were such a nerd? I mean, we went to university together. I know, I'm just kidding. Here, might be in here somewhere. Lucas handed me a black notebook. Opening it up, I found various different notes in handwriting different to Lucas's, no doubt left for him by whoever set up his network in the first place. Flicking through it, I found an entry labeled Settings for Communal Area Printer. Perfect. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!